You're moving to Florida to save on taxes, but I'm here to tell you, hold your horses, not so fast. Hear me out before you make the move to Florida. We're going to be talking about affordability. We're going to be talking about cost of living in general. We're going to be talking about taxes. We're going to be talking about asset protection. We're going to be talking about so many things that you should take into consideration when you're deciding where to move before you decide that it has to be Florida just because Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos have moved to Miami. So let's begin. I am Javier Correa. I'm an enrolled agent in the United States, and I'm also the tax director here at the Rothbard Group. And let's dive right into it. Florida versus international relocation. Now, Florida is a fantastic place to be if you're staying within the United States because you need to, because you're not sure you want to leave yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. Florida is a fantastic choice within the US. What I want to do with this video is expand your mind, show you what happens when you start playing the international game, right? If you're moving down to Florida, you're playing chess. I want to teach you to play three-dimensional chess. What happens when you start interacting with cross-border planning opportunities as opposed to just saying, I'm going to move down to Miami. Now, Miami has a lot of things going for it. It will soon overtake New York as the major international financial capital of the states. It has great weather. Florida lacks a state personal income tax. The corporate taxes in Florida are quite low. And overall, the quality of life in Miami, if you're a high net worth individual, is absolutely fantastic. Hey, I'll even say this. If I were to live in the States, if I needed to move to the States, I'd definitely move to South Florida. let's just say that. However, when you compare, Florida to international options, for example, the Republic of Panama, which is the main international destination that we work with at the Rothbard Group for many American entrepreneurs and investors, you start noticing that even though Florida has great advantages, those advantages can be 10x'd when you come to the Republic of Panama. So let's take a moment to compare objectively, without mixing in emotions. Let's just look at the raw data here, gentlemen. Number one, let's look at affordability. You come down to the Republic of Panama, check out our other videos. With $1 million, you can buy an absolute palace in one of the most exclusive areas in Panama City. We're talking about a 600 square meter, roughly 6,000 square feet, luxury penthouse, Olympus level luxury, and yet you're only spending a little over $1 million. Try to get that same level of property in Miami for $1 million. It's impossible. You're obviously not going to be on the street if you can afford a $1 million, home in Miami, but you're not going to be in the top level properties where Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos are. However, you bring that 1 million down to Panama City and you're going to be next to the Bezos and the Zuckerbergs here in the Republic of Panama. Number two, let's talk about the weather. A lot of people want to move down to Florida because the weather is great. Warm weather all year round, fantastic. Well, guess what? Panama also has very nice, warm weather all year round, all the sunshine you could ever want. And on top of that, Panama doesn't get any hurricanes like Miami does. So weather-wise, you're getting a very similar outcome, and I would even say an enhanced outcome because you're saving money on that crazy hurricane insurance. Which brings me to cost of living. Miami is great, and if you're a high net worth individual, you can probably say, well, Javier, I make millions, I can afford it. And that's fine, I can fully respect that. But the fact of the matter is, even if you're a high net worth individual making 7 or 8 figures every year, that doesn't mean that you want to throw money away unnecessarily. If you're a self-made man, I'm pretty sure that you made your millions by not wasting a single dime unnecessarily. And when I tell you that you can live exactly the same lifestyle with very, very similar Western style amenities in Panama, but at a fraction of the cost, I'm pretty sure that's an argument that will resonate with many, many people. So just like in the example of the house, you can pay $1 million and be in the top areas of Panama City. That is not necessarily the same for Miami. If you take a look at everything else, paying for a nanny, paying for a maid, paying for a driver, paying for your insurance, paying for your electric bill, paying for travel, paying for, keeping your yacht in the exclusive marina in town, paying for the private airfield to keep your jet, fueled and ready for whenever you want to use it. If all of those costs could be reduced by 2/3, I'm pretty sure many of you out there would be very happy with that result. Now, let's take a look at the other major expense that all of our clients have, which is taxes. Let's compare taxes for Americans moving to Florida versus taxes for Americans moving to Panama. Now, here, I will admit it is a tough argument to make because Americans are taxed regardless of where they're located based on citizenships, right? So as long as you're a U.S. citizen, you're a tax resident of the U.S. However, by relocating to Panama City, Republic of Panama, you're going to have more tools in your arsenal than if you stayed in Miami. So take a look at this. Panama City, Republic of Panama is like moving to a tax-free state with additional federal tax benefits. What benefits are you talking about, Javier? Well, very simple. Number one, by moving to the Republic of Panama, you can qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion. Florida doesn't allow that. Well, again, it's just around $132,000 or so in 2026, and it's adjusted for inflation every year. Is it going to make a huge difference for a millionaire or a billionaire? Maybe not. But if you're a millionaire and a billionaire, I'm pretty sure you love your tax savings. And instead of having to look for crazy deductions and inorganic business expenses, I'm pretty sure you're going to welcome the possibility to have at least a portion of that income just be excluded from federal taxation altogether. Number two, you can get the foreign housing deduction or exclusion, which is also a very powerful tool. So that is also something that you can take advantage of by relocating to the Republic of Panama that you wouldn't be able to take advantage of if you stayed behind in Florida. And then in addition to that, think about the fact that in the US, most CPAs and most tax attorneys are going to talk about ordinary and necessary business expenses, right? In the pursuit of income, right? 262A. That's what everyone likes to talk about in the States. And the fact of the matter is, if you go abroad to Panama City, Republic of Panama, or any other international jurisdiction for that matter, you can still find ordinary and necessary business expenses that are, needed for the pursuit of income that are still tax deductible on your 1040. And because you're fully living abroad, you might have more flexibility in terms of what qualifies. I'm thinking mostly of those travel expenses that are very difficult to deduct in the US. Remember, Congress did not intend for travel to be easily deductible. So by actually having a real business purpose and having real economic substance outside of the US, certain business travel might be more, might be easier to defend in a potential tax audit, and you can have some legitimate planning strategies around that. Now, in addition to that, you also have to take into consideration that many of the deductions that are available to you in the States, let's say the home office deduction, deducting half of your self-employment tax if you're self-employed as an above-the-line deduction, contributions to IRAs and 401ks and things of that nature, depreciation on real estate, all of those things are still very much available to you if you move abroad. But if you move abroad, you can stack those for the most part on top of other benefits that are only available to you as an American living abroad, which is something that Florida just does not provide. Now, let's move on to another element, which is asset protection. Now, I realize that a lot of people are not too focused on asset protection, and that's fine. A lot of the people that I know that are really focused on asset protection are people who have been scarred, people who have been sued unfairly, people who have been, for lack of a better word, persecuted by ambulance chasers. And I do realize that you have to be around the block, a couple of times to realize the importance of asset protection. But when you do, you start appreciating the fact that when you go international, you can access and unlock so many more asset protection features that are just unavailable to you in the US. Because the fact of the matter is, even if Florida has better tax laws and more business-friendly courts, the reality is that you're still in the US. You're still within a US jurisdiction. You're still within the US legal system. By going international, it is more likely that you will be able to access international asset protection and tax planning tools that are just unavailable to you in the States, or that could not really be used to their fullest extent in the United States. So your assets will be safer, you'll globally be paying less in taxes, you're going to save massively on cost of living because everything is simply more affordable, and at the same time, you're not sacrificing the weather, you're not sacrificing Western consumer conveniences, especially if you choose Panama. So ultimately, when everything is put on the table, a lot of my clients are saying, wow, Panama is really like almost an enhanced version of Florida. And that's how I like to frame it for my American clients. Panama, in many ways, is an enhanced version of Florida. So you're already making the right choice by moving to Florida. But what I want you to think about is, wouldn't you be making a better choice by moving to Panama? I think that's the bottom line. That's the idea I want everyone to go home with, right? Panama as a better alternative to Florida, but that falls into the same line, into the same continuum. So, folks, gentlemen, ladies, if you are considering moving to Florida, if you were already sold on the idea of looking for that second home in Miami, if you truly believe Florida is the place that has the right combination for you, then I would encourage you to look into Panama more deeply, and I would be delighted to guide you along this wonderful international journey. So, if you want to learn more about Panama versus Florida, look no further. Rothbardgroup.com, and I'll see you in the next video.